LNG Q4FY23 results call hosted by Axis Capital Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode. There will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Amit Murarka from Axis Capital. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Robin. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out to attend this post-results call of Petronet LNG. We have with us the Senior Manager of Petronet LNG, starting with Mr. Vinod Kumar Mishra, who's the Director of Finance, Mr. Rakesh Chawla, who's GGM and President of Finance and Accounts, Mr. G.K. Sharma, CGM and Vice President Marketing, Mr. Vivek Mittal, CGM and Vice President Marketing, Devaprata Satpathy, who's the General Manager F&A, as well as Mr. Ashwini Agarwal, who's the Manager F&A. Without much ado, I will hand over the floor to the management for their opening remarks. Post that, we'll have the Q&A. Over to you, Mr. Mishra.
Thank you. Very good evening to all of you. And I start with the performance of the company. And if you see the main highlights of the company, it has been 58,899 crore, 59,899 crore in financial year 2022-23. And there is a surge of around 39% from the previous year, as compared to 43,169. And if you look at the throughput of the Dahej terminal, it has been very promising, because we have been able to have a throughput of 172 TBTU as against 154 TBTU in the previous quarter and 178 TBTU in the corresponding quarter. And total throughput, both Dahej and Kochi, has been 185 TBTU against 167 TBTU in the previous quarter and 190 TBTU in the corresponding quarter. And if you look at the yearly basis throughput, then you will find that it is not as high as it was last year. Of course, Dahej has a throughput of 704 TBTU as against 793 TBTU in the previous year. And Kochi had 48 TBTU throughput as against 54 TBTU in the corresponding year, last year. So this is how physical performance has been. And if you look at the quarterly result, then profit PBT has been 818 crore as against 1,586 crore in the previous quarter and 984 crore in the corresponding quarter of the previous year. And PAT has been 614 crore as against 1,181 crore in the previous quarter and 750 crore in the corresponding quarter of the previous year. And on yearly basis, PBT has been 4,335 crore as against 4,474 crore in the previous year, and PAT has been 3,240 crore as against PAT of 3,352 crore in the previous year. So this is the total performance of the company, and apart from that, there is slight downward trend we see in the profitability, and this is mainly because of NDS impact of the foreign exchange variation, which has been to the extent of 258 crore. And apart from that, we have declared dividend of 3 rupees per share. Apart from the 7 rupees we have declared as interim dividend in the second quarter, after second quarter. So this is how we have performed, and now house is open for the questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Probal Sen from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. Good evening. Two questions. One, what we've seen is despite the spot LNG prices dropping off quite a bit in this quarter, our third party or service revenue volumes are yet to reach anywhere near our normal run rates of between 75 to 80 TBTUs. So just wanted to get a sense, is it because the contracts don't really work in tandem with, how soon prices are changing, or will they need to drop even more from here for our volumes to recover back to, let's say, about 75 to 80 TBTUs? That was my first question.
First question, you are asking that there has been a normal downfall in the prices of LNG, and still the service cargoes are not increasing to that extent. But you see that there has been surge to the extent 61 TBTU in this quarter, as against 47 TBTU in the previous quarter.
Right.
So there has been a rise in the service cargoes. That means these service cargoes may be as a spot, or it may be under the long-term contract of the off-takers. So we are getting a higher number of cargoes now in this fourth quarter. And if you look at April data, it is even higher, and we are getting good number of cargoes now. And 21 cargoes have come so far in April also, out of which 11 are on service cargo and 10 are long term. So we can say gradually situation is improving, and prices have started declining only after February. So you cannot say entire quarter there was a lower prices. It was only after February that prices have come down, and it takes time for the customer to adjust to procure the cargo. So it's not that in a day you will find a cargo. Whenever price is declared, it's almost 2 months later. So we can say that it's gradually improving now, and perhaps more cargoes will come in this current year, in this quarter.
Got it. Second question was more of housekeeping, sir. Can you share the regas service revenue for the quarter?
Regas service revenue is to the extent of this quarter, you are 359.
Yes.
359 crores.
359 crores. If I can squeeze in just one more question, any updates, sir, on our plans for the petrochemical project? Any firm up of the final capex timelines? Anything you can share?
Petrochemical is going on, and at present we can say that PFR has been prepared. We are in the process of licensor selection, and once the licensor is selected, thereafter we will have the DFR prepared by the consultant, and then we will go to the board for approval of the project, and thereafter activities will start. So we will have to wait for some time at least. It may take maybe 2-3 months at least for selection of this licensor, and thereafter maybe in next 1 or 2 months will be DFR will be ready by the consultant. Then we will go to the board. So 3-4 months we can say right now.
Okay. Any indicative investment that any changes in terms of the number? Because I believe we had shared about, I think 14,000 crore was the indicative number.
That is the range we are still estimating, because we are not still clear how much will be the capex, because once the licensor selection is made, then only we can come to know how much is the capex, because it's based on the technology. Whatever technology we are selecting, it is having a different kind of requirements for the equipment, for the raw material, and for other catalysts. So those things can be known only after the selection of licensor, because whatever technology we are selecting, it has different kind of capex, each technology. So that way we can say that still we are keeping that capex at 14,000 crores.
Got it. So thank you so much for the detailed answers. I'll come back if I have questions. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Somaya V. from Avendus Spark. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. So can you just give us an update on the key projects that we are working on, the Dahej expansion, Gopalpur FSRU, and also the capex outlook maybe for the next couple of years?
Dahej, you know that this plan is already going on, tank construction is going on, and perhaps if you look at the capex, which we are estimating this time, the capex, total capex, that it's around 1,250 crores, out of which I think 744 crores we have already incurred, and balance is left. So balance should be this year, and then slightly it will be next year. So this is total capex of the tank, and then the jetty we are going to construct is 1,650 crores. That is the capex, and we have already started process for awarding the job for jetty construction. And capex is already there, 1,650 crore. And then we come to the Dahej expansion plan, which we have from 17.5 to 22.5 MMTPA. That is also having a capex of around 570 crores. So that is the capex for the Dahej. And apart from that, petrochemical, I have already mentioned that whenever it comes, it will be estimated at 14,000 crores. So that will be there. And apart from that, we are also thinking of some one more tank at Kochi. So perhaps we will go ahead with that plan in future. So if at all it comes and approval is given, then we will have capex of 600 crores. So this is how, and apart from that, we have contracts. We have this proposal approved for Gopalpur terminal. So here also we have a capex of 2,300 crores. FSRU terminal we are going to construct. So this is how capex plan is there, and I think more will come at all if there is any capex. But right now, this is immediate capex plan we have.
So what will be the next couple of years, capex outlook in terms of annual capex?
Capex outlook, as you know, that whatever capex is coming up, there's a big ticket capital commitment could be petrochemical plant. So for that, we have thought of some debt equity ratio of 70-30. So those kind of plants, perhaps we will rationalize it, and we will have 30% equity, 70% debt. And apart from that, 2,300 Gopalpur project, 2,300 crores. That also, and that's not a big capex, but we may think of some debt if required. So that way, plan is clear that we will optimize the cost through this kind of debt mix for the major projects. But of course, for small projects like expansion plans, we are not going to have some financing arrangement. Tanks, we don't have any financing arrangement. It's a very small capex, so we are meeting from our internal resources. So this is how we are going to plan for capex in future.
I got it, sir. We just was looking more from a annual capex plan, as in this year we spent around FY 23,000 crores. So what would be that equivalent number for FY 24 or 25?
Next year, I can tell you that it will be around 1,700 crores. Means this current year, it is going on April to March 23-24.
Got it, sir. Sir, and also any plans on the cash that you have? I mean, anything from a incremental dividend angle, or is it because of the Petchem project we probably want to conserve? So, any thoughts around the cash balance?
See, I have just mentioned that the dividend part will be taken care of. That's why we are already planning to have some debt equity mix of 70-30 for Petchem plant. So this will not put burden on the equity itself. And internal generation is already there to the extent of almost 3,300 crores every year. So that way there should not be stress on cash, and perhaps dividend part will continue to be paid over there. So that's why we are planning in such a way that dividend payout is not affected. And at least we are able to make 100% dividend payout ratio. That should continue. This is our plan. That's what we are thinking of.
Got it. So just one last question from my side. So this take or pay charges which we accounted in the last quarter. So, I mean, what the status on that in terms of receiving, what is the amount that's been received so far and what is still outstanding?
Yeah, so we have booked the use pay charges for the cargoes which have been defaulted by the off-takers. But the only thing is that we are pursuing for that, and perhaps we are hopeful that that should be paid by them. This is as per contract. And some of them have recognized that, but of course, we have to see that how we have to recover it. But the process is going on. We are trying to recover it and best possible way. And hopefully we should recover those costs. And perhaps in next year when the prices are normal for LNG, then perhaps there shall not be any default on their part. So we are hopeful that in future it will not be there. But for the past, we have to, of course, recover those charges. For that, we are making all-out efforts to recover.
So of the 850 odd crores that we had booked, so still it remains as a receivable. Is that the right understanding?
Yeah, it is still, you are saying it is receivable.
Yeah, so we have not got anything for that
We have
850
not
crores.
So far,
Yeah, we have not.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Siddharth Chauhan from Batlivala and Karani Securities India Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So just two questions from me. One, on the other expenses side, that there seems to be a slight increase in this quarter. So is that seasonality or there's something else as well?
Increase in throughput. Other expenses. So there is actually provision for 35 crores for some arbitration award. So that is the main reason. That's why I think it has increased.
Okay. Sir, sorry, your voice was not very clear. So 55 crores for what?
For arbitral award.
Arbitrage award. Okay. Okay, that helps. And just to clarify, so one more tank at Kochi will be a capex of 600 crores, right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. And last question, just on the Gopalpur FSRU. So my understanding is you have previously guided for 2 years odd of construction time. Now what we are seeing right now is there is a lot of tightness coming into the oil service chain. Yards globally are sort of getting full. Shipyards are already full. And the ones in Southeast Asia which sort of do these kind of FSRUs, they might also be getting load from offshore. So I'm just wondering if that 2-year timeline is kind of achievable on the FSRU.
Yeah, we are still exploring the possibilities how we can secure that FSRU. And for that, we have appointed a consultant and seen how we can do it. But we will first explore it and try to get it. And let us see what happens. But we cannot say we will get it or not get it. But we have some alternative plan also for this. If we are not able to secure some FSRU, then we will go ahead with the land-based terminal.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, sir. That's it from me.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Kirtan Mehta from BOB Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. In terms of you mentioned that for FY22 receivable we are pursuing with the users. In terms of the step-wise to get the acknowledgement from here, what are the steps that would be needed at your end to sort of convert this into either a receivable or sort of decide on whether to pursue with it or not?
See, we are in fact trying to talk to them every time, and this has been as per the contract. They know it very well. One thing I can say that some of the customers have already directed TDS. That means they have recognized this liability in their books of account. So that is, in fact, a matter of satisfaction that at least they have come to this level that they have recognized the liability in their books. But I will not disclose the names, but some of them have recognized the liability for that.
Right. Would you, in terms of sort of the escalation, if you need to do, would it be sort of the escalation to the ministry to get this resolved? And could it happen before the finalization of the FY23 annual report?
Escalation in terms of recovery you are seeking?
Yeah.
Escalation is the normal process is as per the contract. We are asking them to give it. There is a process given. If nothing is happening, then there is an arbitration process is already there provided in the contract. If it is not mutually agreed upon. So that is a legal process, and if we are not able to recover it.
Right. Just another question was about the sort of the going back to the higher level of sort of close to 90% utilization. Is this price slide sufficient, or would we need prices to sort of become a bit more improved from here before we can achieve the 90% plus utilization?
See, the price have come down almost $11, $10. It is going on. So prices, of course, have come to a reasonable level. But if it goes down, it is still better. But even at this level, you see that in April month itself, we have reached the utilization level of 97%. So that way, we have already crossed in this month at least. But of course, in the last quarter, if you see, it has been only 77% around, you can say, on yearly basis. But this is a good sign that at least we are now improving and more cargoes are coming. And hopefully, May will also be very good. So let us hope for the best, at least for this quarter. And if this price trend continues for a longer time, then I think more and more spot cargoes will come to India.
Right. So when you say the utilization has improved to 97% level, are we also seeing the surge in the spot cargoes as well?
See, I can say it's not known to how much, but our service cargoes have increased. So this much I can say that there is a long-term contract which is being met as per schedule ADP, whatever is annual delivery plan. And service cargoes which were not coming earlier are now have started coming now. So in April it has been a good number of cargoes have come. And you can say that situation has improved. That's why the utilization level has increased to 97%. And one more good thing is that at least for this 6-month period, Dabhol will be closed. So more cargoes from GAIL will come at least for the next 6 months.
Right. If I can squeeze in one more question. In terms of the Kochi tank, we are currently operating at a utilization of the 20% level. And we are looking for adding that tank. So what are the viability assumptions that we take to justify the viability of the Kochi tank?
Kochi tariff you are talking about?
Kochi, you mentioned that we are considering option to add a tank at Kochi, which could cost us a capex of around 600 crores.
Yeah.
In that, I was asking
for the tank over there because this gives us a flexibility for trading the LNG cargoes. Right now it's tied up, so we are thinking of having it for future. And one good news is that today in the board meeting itself, it was declared that GAIL's pipeline from Kochi to Bangalore may be commissioned by, you can say, next year, November 2024. If that is happening, that kind of commitment is coming from GAIL. So I think the utilization level can go up to 35 to 50% also next year after commissioning. It's not right now. Maybe this financial year it is not possible, but next year it is possible because GAIL chairman himself has said that it is likely to be completed by November 2024. And it will be connected with the national gas grid, then its quite possible to use it more and more because swapping mechanism is always there, and more CGDs will be coming, so they will have a fair share of LNG usage because then swapping can be done and gas can be supplied from our terminal to those CGD entities. So that is the kind of plan we are having, and perhaps pipeline is a major interest, and once this is overcome, then perhaps we will be able to have more usage of our Kochi terminal in future.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for this detailed answer.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Yogesh Patil from Daulat Capital. Please go ahead.
Thanks for taking my question, sir. So in last few quarters, we have seen a gain on the sale of spot LNG, which boosted profits. What was amount in this quarter 4 FY23? Can you please share it?
Yeah, we will tell you. Just a minute. Hold on. The trading margin. Trading margin 73 crores.
Oh, thanks. So second question, considering the fall in spot LNG prices in the current scenario and the rising demand of gas, is there any provision in a use or pay contract that if the off-takers regasify the higher quantity of gas in this calendar year, then previous year shortfall can be offset?
No, there is no provision as such because these capacities have to be utilized within the calendar year itself. If it is not done, then the use of pay charges are levied. So it is not provided in this contract. So there is no.
So that flexibility is not available.
Can be appreciated.
Okay, and the last one, sir, from my side. So, sir, please correct me if I am wrong. In 2026, additional 0.6 MMTPA LNG will be coming to India from ExxonMobil. Is it a part of a Gorgon volume existing 1.44 MMTPA, or this would be addition to 1.44 MMTPA volume?
It is an additional contract we have entered at the time of negotiation with ExxonMobil. That in fact it is not 0.6. It's in a stage. 2-3 years is a ramp-up period. So it will be coming to the extent of 1.2 MMTPA. And from 2026 it will be 0.6. And from 2028 onward it will be 1.2 MMTPA in addition to 1.425. So total it will become around 2.625 after 2028. That means that Kochi terminal itself will utilize by that time at least up to 50%. Apart from whatever I am saying that after this completion of pipeline, more utilization will be there. More volume will come there when this contract will be implemented in 2026. So I think that is there.
And what would be the pricing agreement for the additional volume?
Pricing tariff will, I think that tariff will continue what is going on right now.
Okay, and the pricing part of LNG would be the same?
Pricing part, it will be 13.95%. I think same. It will be same, I think.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot, sir.
It will be same.
Thanks a lot, sir. It was really helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Maulik Patel from Equirus. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. So one question, you mentioned that there has been an uptick in the regas volume. Historically, in this Q1, Q2, because of the partial shutdown of Dabhol, you generally do around 1.9 to 2 million ton quarterly regas volume. Are you confident that you will achieve that past run rate?
You are saying that after shutdown of Dabhol,
yeah,
whatever volume was there last year, it will continue.
Yeah. Okay.
You mean past is the last year level?
No, I think year before that.
So as we mentioned at the beginning of call, the spot prices have come up, so we are expecting utilization levels to go up. What it would be actually, it's very difficult to predict given numbers. But we expect definitely better than last year.
Got it. And the second question is on your any other development related to this biogas or the LNG stations, anything you are pursuing apart from the petchem projects and Gopalpur?
Yeah, this compressed biogas is, of course, we are thinking of, but it's not in a big way. Right now, we are proposing to have at least 4 or 5 CBG stations, so that have been incorporated in our capex plan. So that is where 5 LNG, the CBG stations. But as and when it will come, we will again inform you. And as far as SSLNG is concerned, we have already 4 stations commissioned almost, but some approvals are awaited. So with IOCL, we have already installed LNG stations at 4 places, and more will come in due course. Because of this instability in the prices, volatility in the prices of LNG, this segment could not get too much of attention with the consumers because high price of LNG was not affordable in this market. But now, since the prices have started coming down, so we hope that this segment will further now take its right, and it will perhaps go in a good way in future.
Sure. So what's happening on the gas renegotiation? We understand, if you look at the last couple of months news, Germany has done one contract with the Qatar. China has did a 2 contract with Qatar, and they took some equity stake in that north field, west or east. But what we are doing as in a country, the PLNG has been in a negotiating agency with Qatar. So any update which we can expect for this the renegotiation part, or any incremental volume we are part of that contract or of that negotiation?
No, it's actually I can just only share that we have to finalize this contract for renewal by the end of this year for the extension beyond 2028. This is what we are proceeding with. So we are now concerned with the renewal of the existing contract beyond 2028. So that is going on. As and when something is finalized, we will come back to you and declare it. But right now we cannot share it what is going on. But of course we are in the process because we have to finalize this by December 2023.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sabri Hazarika from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Good evening. Usual bookkeeping question with respect to Indies and Gorgon volumes in Dahej.
Yeah, Sabri, Indies at the gross margin level, 156 crore positive.
Yeah.
Then forex gain 23 crore positive. Then reversal of expenses. Right? Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, 23 crore positive forex gain, right? Okay.
Forex gain and other expenses level 8 crores positive.
Okay.
And then depreciation 82 crores and the finance cost 71 crores.
Finance cost 71 crores. So PBT level 34 crores, right?
33 crores, yeah.
33. And trading gain you said was 73 crores, right?
Yes.
And any inventory gain loss during the quarter?
Inventory gain is 20 crores. 22 crores. Inventory gain.
Gross margin you said 156 crores, right? Okay. And then what was the Gorgon volume in Dahej?
Gorgon volumes at Dahej. That's 29. 9.7 TBtu.
9.7 TBtu for the quarter.
Yeah.
And second question is, sir, on this the hedge utilization. So you mentioned the April average itself went up to 97%, you said?
Yes.
And which are the sectors which has driven it, I mean, in terms of end consumption? Was it power sector predominantly, or was it broad-based?
See, the prices has become comparatively affordable, and with respect to alternate fuel, so it is not only power, other industrial consumer sector also has come up, those who were using otherwise other alternatives.
Okay, so it was across the board improvement you've seen. So not because of that temperature which has led to basically power sector?
Not really. That is just part contribution, and that too not that significant. I would say it is more of industrial consumers and across the board. So refineries as well as petrochemicals, ceramics, everyone has come up.
Okay, and regarding this new HPHT gas coming, 6 MMSCMD has come. So do you think this can be a threat, or you see this getting absorbed with respect to new customers?
See, market is enough, and I think it is not matter of threat. You know, the threat is to the alternate fuels, not to RLNG.
One more I will add to what he's saying. If you look at the long-term prices also, they are at $10, $11. HPHT is already $12.16. So now it's almost matching, not much difference. So that way you can see that hardly matters is a threat. I don't see it as a threat now.
Right, I got it. And your FY23 capex was 1,000 crore. Was that right?
23, which is passed. Okay, yeah, it's around 900 something crores, 950 crores.
950 crores. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Puneet from HSBC. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. My first question is with respect to the user pay contract. So is my understanding correct that roughly 850 crore and the previous year's 400 odd 15 odd crores, both are unrecognized?
No, see, it's a 850 crore is raised this year only. So it is a recent one. We are pursuing that. As far as 215 crore last year is concerned, that is also part of it. So we have already rigorously following it up with them. And in fact, as and when some solution will come out, it will be known to all. But it's very clear that we are rigorously following it.
Sure.
And it's not that we are going to waive it. So we will have it, and we will try that they should pay it. And then we will see how we can go ahead, because after all, this is payable as per the contract.
Correct. Absolutely. But they haven't recognized it at all, right? It's been 1 year at least on that number, previous year's number also. There is no further discussion, if I were to put it that way.
Sorry to interrupt, but we seem to have lost the line for the management.
Okay.
We request you all to please stay with us. We will reconnect with the management. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We have reconnected with the management. Puneet, you may please repeat your question so that the management will be able to answer that.
Sure. Yes. So what I was trying to understand is, even for the calendar year 21, 415 crore, there has been no progress with the off-takers. Is that understanding broadly okay?
No. Progress is that we are following it up, and perhaps some of the customers have started deducting PDS also. That means they have started recognizing the liability at least in their books. So this is a major thing, if it is happening at all, because as per contract, this is a liability. In fact, this should be a burden on them. Why they are not showing it as liability?
Right.
It's not that we have waived it. We are not going to waive it like that. It's their liability, they have to pay it.
Okay, understood. That's helpful. And secondly, on your Gopalpur, do you have the board approval yet for 2,300 crore, or are we still waiting for that?
No. We have got the approval of board. We are going ahead now. We are now finalizing the transaction documents with Gopalpur Port Limited. And after that, we will start lining up the contract for construction of the jetty and other facilities for the FSRU terminal.
But in case you don't get FSRU, which you said that you are looking for alternate land, that will also change the capex number.
Mind, because we are also having some issues, because as you know very well that many of the FSRUs now are working in Europe.
Right.
Because of that change last year, a lot of LNG coming up there. So we have to see the availability of the FSRU, because it will be known only after we do some tendering process and see the tenders. If something is happening, then only we will go ahead. If we find that there is no possibility of FSRU availability, then we will go ahead with the land-based terminal.
And will you have to go back to the board for approval, or the approval stands?
We will have to go back to the board, because we need to have the additional capex approval. And apart from that, we have already informed board in this regard that we have an option to go to land-based terminal after some time, after FSRU is established. So that option is already informed. Only thing, additional capex we will have to work out if it is not FSRU, and then we'll go back to board for additional part of capex approval.
And you said that for the Kochi-Bangalore pipeline, which is scheduled for November 2024, is there any opportunity to increase offtake from Kochi in the interim?
If you see, even now, we are utilizing 20%, almost 1 MMTPA already being utilized. Yeah. And now we are hoping that MRPL and ONPL will also come back to this LNG usage in place of alternate fuels they were using. So I think that is a silver lining we have, that at least MRPL, one of the big customer, and ONPL, they will start using natural gas again in that region.
And how much can they take?
25 to 30% if they start using it.
Okay, so your 20% goes up to 25% level.
25, maybe 30% also. It depends upon if the price trend continues like this, $11 and $10. Yeah. They will continue, and this will increase only in future.
Understood. That's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Varatharajan Sivakrishnan. I'm sorry, it's Varatharajan Sivasankaran from Antique Limited. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. My question was just answered right now. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Hemal, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you for this opportunity. So just wanted to ask, pre-COVID, like FY 19-20, FY20, what was our Dahej and Kochi annual production? Like this year you said 704 and 48 for Kochi and 704 for Dahej. What was it for FY20 if you have it in case?
20 means 21, 22 I have told you, 54 it was there. But 2021 I was up to 1920 I will have to see it. I have got the data for last year. Just a minute, hold on, I'll let you know. But you are asking too much of that. It was COVID period, I think. 1920 was before COVID. Before COVID, how much is the volume? 41.6. No, it is not much. I think it's almost 41.88 was there, 1920.
You are talking of Kochi terminal.
And Dahej?
Dahej in 1920.
Yeah. If you have it, sir. If not, then I'm
trying to have 885 TBTU. 885.
So do you believe like this year with prices that they stay at $11 and $12, would it be aspirational to go back to those levels, back to 1920 levels, even at these $11, $12, or is it too high of a price to?
See, it's only guesswork you are asking me to do. We are hoping that it will go to that level at least. As I have said that April has shown that there is a good utilization of terminal, Dahej terminal. So I hope that it will further increase in future. Because there has been overall less LNG imports in last financial year, 22-23. So that way you can say this has impacted our utilization. But once it comes to normal, then you find that it will be going up to at least 90% level. I cannot say it will go beyond 100%, but 90% is achievable in this kind of prices. 97 still we are running in April.
Okay. Thank you, sir. The rest of my questions are all answered. I appreciate your answering the questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of S. Ramesh from Nirmal Bang Equities. Please go ahead.
Good evening and thank you very much. You mentioned that there is a forex loss of 258 crores. So where is that included in your P&L?
That's in the other expenses.
So the entire other expense is FX loss?
No. 258 crores is for the year. Yes.
Acha. What is it for the quarter?
For the quarter, there is a 23 crores gain.
Okay, fair enough. So this 258 crores for the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And the second thought is now with a lot of new LNG terminals coming up, I think Chara terminal is coming up. So while if you take a 4-5 year view, I guess LNG share can be sustained. So is there any risk to your utilization rates if Chara terminal is commissioned and a couple of other terminals go up in the region?
No. I don't think so. See, we are already having our capacity booked to the extent of almost 15.75 MTPA at Dahej. You know, this 7.5 MMTPA, this Qatar gas contract, and 8.25 MMTPA is the capacity booked by the off-takers. So 15.75 at least I have, which is almost 85 to 90% of the capacity. So I am not having any threat from anybody because we have long-term contracts with our off-takers, our promoters. So that way we are secured. So let's be assured that whatever terminals are coming, in fact, this is a challenge for them. How to run those terminals. We don't have a challenge. Only fight could be that additional volumes will come, but the kind of connectivity, kind of evacuation we have, no other terminal can have. So simply having a terminal is not enough. Pipeline connectivity is a big issue. And many terminals are not able to run because of that connectivity. You see, many terminals are located at a place where there is no pipeline connectivity or very less connectivity. So that way, this terminal is far better than any other terminal. So I don't foresee any threat from them. But of course, since they are coming and entire consumption is also going to increase in future, as you know that whatever this plan of the government of India to increase the share of natural gas 6% to 15%, with upcoming CGD entities having so many projects coming up in the next 4 or 5 years, where from they will get the gas? It will be only through these terminals. Everywhere domestic gas availability is not there. So they will swap the gas with the domestic gas and supply from the LNG terminals. This will happen because southern India doesn't have so much of domestic gas. So ultimately, these terminals will be utilized in the future.
So if you look at Kochi, what is the status of the use or pay for Kochi for the current volumes and for the increased capacity utilization? Have you already tied up with use or pay, or as the network, evacuation network comes in place, you will start arranging for use or pay?
No, it's not. See, capacity booking is only at Dahej terminal, first thing. Kochi terminal is only receiving the volume from ExxonMobil, and that contract we had entered for 1.425 MMTPA. So it was supposed to be brought to Kochi, but because of connectivity issues and consumption level at Kochi, some of the cargoes are coming to Dahej. So that way we are utilizing because demand should be there. As of now, there is not so much of demand at Kochi, but there is only contract for 1.4 to 5 MTPA with ExxonMobil, which is again a back-to-back contract with off-takers. So that way they have to take that gas either at
Hello?
Sorry to interrupt, sir. We have the line for the management has disconnected. Please stay with us while we reconnect. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. We have reconnected with the management. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. So I was just talking that Kochi terminal has a contract of 1.4 to 5 MTPA with ExxonMobil, but that is not a use or pay contract. It's a contract for back-to-back delivery of the RLNG to off-takers. And you know that contract has a ratio of 40% BPCL, 30% IOCL, 30% GAIL. So that way it is distributed. So that contract was entered just to utilize Kochi terminal. And in addition to that, there is additional gas coming up from 2026 of 0.6 MMTPA for 2 years, 3 years, and then 1.2 MMTPA. So total 2.62 MMTPA contracts are in fact should come in Kochi, but because utilization is not that much in Kochi, so some of the cargoes we are bringing to the Dahej.
Understood. If I might just squeeze in one more question. So if in FY23 you've already booked some user pay claims, they kind of normalize the margin. So if you were to look at profit growth for FY24, assuming 90% capacity utilization, is it possible to show some growth in the profit after tax for FY24 on the base you have already reported in FY23?
See, this is all, I say now that this is guesswork, but we in fact intend to do so. We want to show the growth in profit because once the volumes comes the way it is coming in April and May, I think there is no doubt that we should increase the present profitability growth rate. And maybe that next year we should be better than this year. Because I am again saying that if the prices are reasonably okay, say $8, $9, $10, we will be able to utilize our terminal to the best possible way, and then profitability will automatically increase.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be our last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Amit Murarka for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Robin. Thank you, everyone, for your time on the call today. I would now hand over the floor back to Mr. Mishra for any closing comments if you have, sir.
Thank you very much, and for the patience you have shown in listening my answer, and whatever question you have, you can ask again if you have not been able to ask here through email to our team. And perhaps we are in fact so glad that you are reposing faith in Petronet LNG. But once again, I will say that the kind of model which PLL has is the robust model in the market. Profitability is assured, contracts are assured. Come what may, the use of pay charges or take of pay charges will ensure that profitability is not going down substantially. And
Thank you. On behalf of Axis Capital Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.